So making your landing page successful and writing it in a way that really resonates with your audience starts with your audience. Who are they? How do they think about the problems that your offer solves? How do they talk about those problems? How much do they already know about the problem? You're going to have to meet them where they are. Talk to them in a way that uses their own words. This is called voice of customer. And if you can do it well, it's going to go a long way towards helping your customers convert on your landing page. But how do you do it? Do you just guess? I mean, how do you find out how they're actually talking about it so that you know which words to use? Joel. You said a lot of great stuff there, and I kind of want to break that down and revisit the tone and the words that your audience is using. In your experience, or just, if someone is looking for that, they don't really know, maybe they're just getting started. How do they find those words? How do they find that tone? How do they understand, exactly the way their desired audience or their target audience is talking about these things?
Yeah. I mean, the great thing is there's no excuse for being in the dark, because this is readily available to all of us, and you don't have to go pay thousands of dollars to a market research firm to put together a 1,000-page report. I mean, you can certainly do that, and there's value for a certain audience in doing that, but there's lots of stuff that's readily accessible. I mean, the first place you can go and look at your own reviews and testimonials, right? What are people talking about? How are they talking about it? What are they emphasizing? Go look at your competitors' reviews and testimonials, and look at the positive ones. What do people really like about them? Again, what sort of language? Who are these people reviewing? Then look at the negative ones, right? What don't people like about competing solutions? And can you subtly position against that? If you realize, for example, that ease of use is a concern, let's say you're a software platform and you see everybody's complaining, oh, the software is super powerful, but it's really hard to use. It takes months to get up to speed. And your solution genuinely is simple and easier to use. Now you've got a place to start kind of framing not only like the voice and tone, but your argument. You can also go to places that conversations happen naturally. That can be anywhere from your own inbox, your own chat logs if you run chat to see, again, what's the language, what's the cadence, what are people asking? You can talk to your sales team and say, hey, can I get some transcripts maybe of your calls, or can I sit in and shadow you on a call and listen to those conversations? So that's another place that you can go and look. But you can also go and look places like Reddit or forums, or where do people discuss your solution online, or parallel solutions, right? Let's say that you're a personal trainer and you're, for whatever reason, you're having a hard time finding conversations about personal trainers. Well, if you go to Amazon and you go find books that are about, self-help in terms of like fitness and whatever, and you go read reviews for those, these are the same people trying to solve the problem maybe a different way. So that could be a launching off point too. So even if you have no customers yet, you've got competitors, people are solving this problem somehow, go to the places those conversations are happening and listen and document and look for themes and priorities and that sort of thing.
Aha. So you've got to become a bit of a detective if you really want to talk to your target audience in a way that they not only understand, but in a way that they themselves talk. You can do this in a number of ways: customer reviews, feedback, hopping on the phone with your customers and asking them, reading reviews from your competitors, reading Amazon reviews of similar products. The list goes on. But one question remains. Using the words that they use is a start, but what are those words saying? Are they just telling them things that they already know? Is your copy going to be way over their heads? How do you figure out the right level of awareness that your potential customers have so that you can talk to them in a way that they understand, but also in a way that tells them the things that they need to know without telling them things that they already know or skipping ahead a few steps? So then moving into sort of, how educated is your audience? How educated are the people, or what are their expectations of the audience that's looking at your landing page? How do you kind of narrow that down? Are there any rules of thumb or best practices in terms of figuring out, exactly who it is and how aware, or what level of information you should convey?
Yeah, I think for those listening too, when we talk about education, we're not talking about like college education or like university. Like, we're talking about awareness. How much do they already know? How much do they understand their own problem? And to some degree, some of that is intuitive depending on the strategy you're targeting. Like, let's say that you are launching a landing page and you're targeting phrases around, let's say, best hockey stick. Okay. Implicit in that phrase is, this is a dumb example, but it's just going to help us illustrate, that person knows what a hockey stick is. Like, they're not Googling, like, how do I shoot a puck? They're not Googling, So implicit in that phrase is it's a comparison type of phrase. We can infer from the point of entry that they're looking for the best solution, that this is someone who is comparing options. They know enough to know what their problem is. They know enough to know that there are solutions to that problem. And now they're actively looking at different solutions. Let's say, by contrast, you're going after a market that all they know is that they have a problem. You're going after kind of this untapped market, right? So let's say you're a financial planner, and so here maybe you're having people come in off of a phrase like, where should I invest, or how much should I invest? These people are probably way down on the awareness and sophistication stage. So if you jump in talking about ETFs and all the language and acronyms and jargon, they're not going to be caught up with you. So sometimes the sophistication is implicit in the way that they get there, whether that's looking at the keywords they arrive from, looking at the ads that will drive people in, looking at their actual behavior and where in the funnel the content sits. So again, let's say you're doing a remarketing campaign. Implicit in that is that they know enough because they've come in at least one time. They're somewhat educated on your product or your brand awareness. Or, again, if you're targeting people, say via email, and they're already signed up for your list, and they've been a subscriber for a long time, you might look at how long ago they subscribed, how familiar they are with your content. You might look at, again, what lead magnet brought them in to subscribe. That can be an indication of awareness. Did they get like a My First Homeowners checklist if you're a realtor, or did they get your like guide to flipping and selling? You can try to look at sort of the starting point of where these people are coming from, and that will be an indication of how much they probably know. The other thing, the most direct line, whether you're a big company or a small company, is talk to sales and ask them, like, who are you talking to? What questions do they have? Who do they need to convince within their organization? And that will at least give you a window into, of those people contacting you, where do they fall along this spectrum, right? How much do they know? What gaps is sales still having to close? And that helps not only identify places that your copy on your landing page or website could be working harder, but also gives you a sense of, again, what's the general knowledge level of people coming in. So a lot of different places you can go for that. When in doubt, I think it's a matter of just start with the common sense answer, which is, okay, if we're running an ad campaign and we're targeting these types of phrases, how much do we think people know? And then watch behavior, watch how that happens, and you can kind of adjust from there to see. Importantly, copywriting and landing pages, it's always a moving target. You're never done. Like, unless you're converting at 100%, there's always something that could be stronger or better or what have you. So it's important that you kind of take each copy, each piece of copy, each landing page that you launch as a learning opportunity and a structured learning opportunity, so that the next one, you're not just guessing all over again. Well, that didn't work. Oh, let's try something new. You want to be intentional about what you're deploying, and then intentional about finding out why it is or is not working.
Yes, I love that. The idea that it's a moving target and it's never just done. I feel like there's a big desire to kind of just set it and forget it, right? Like, I've written this landing page, I put it out there, this is it forever. Yeah, it's a great point. Know your customer. Know your customer. Know your customer. Got it. Hi, thank you for watching. If you are enjoying Growth Decoded, you can find a link in the description to sign up and join the Grow team. You'll get exclusive content and opportunities that have to do with the show. You can also hit the subscribe button for Active Campaign's YouTube channel somewhere down here, and you will never miss an update from us.